I think the last team that is feasible, and only in certain people's mind, would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you guys think about?
Are those certain people you?
Hey, hey. So we talked about it before, and Ben Roethlisberger 2 years ago was just about to be done with football. He was in a spot where he was sick of Antonio Brown, at least allegedly. We saw how that worked out. Sick of how things were kind of going. Wasn't really mentally wanting to go through the grind, and was basically ready to consider retirement until people started talking about Mason Rudolph being the future, and them trying to get a new quarterback, and then he hit the brakes, and I think his ego got into I'm gonna be done when I'm gonna be done. You guys aren't gonna tell me we're gonna groom the next guy, even though he had openly said I don't know if I'm gonna keep playing. So at that point, it was kind of the end of the road. He was turning the ball over a little bit more. They were being less successful. Now, after an injury, you've seen the photos, you've seen the videos. I don't want to say that a guy who's an NFL player can't get into shape before an NFL season starts, but he looks out of shape. He looks a little bit disinterested in wanting to at least prove to people he really cares about this. He kind of seems like he's going through the motions, and I don't know him or know his life like that, but I don't look at him and see okay, this guy can come back and lead our franchise for a couple of more strong years. It seems like he's just kind of hanging on right now. So if that's the case, do you consider a Cam Newton, who had a similar skill set to young Ben Roethlisberger, who, if healthy, can still win you games? Or consider a Jameis Winston, who, albeit a lot of interceptions, plays very, very similarly to Ben Roethlisberger in, standing in the pocket, throwing the ball down the field in a very high volume passing offense. Could you go back to old Steeler way, run the ball, pound it with James Conner, the other backs that they have there, maybe draft a guy, get the ball out to Juju Smith-Schuster. Hopefully Cam Newton can recapture that early magic, or just continue as you've been doing with throwing the ball all over the field, albeit this time with Jameis Winston. I think either one of those players can fit there if you decide that Ben Roethlisberger is not your guy anymore.
I think you could see both of it. Shape for Ben Roethlisberger has always been a circle. Mm-hmm. He's never been really a guy who looked like he was in the weight room, getting ready, running his sprints. Mm-hmm. And that's always who he was.
Right.
But I think if he were to decide, I'm not coming back, or I can't come back with the elbow injury, I think you could see it. At first you told me that, I was like, I don't think so. Mm-hmm. But, you look into it, I think it's you could see it.
Yeah.
I think, like we said, for Cam, it has to kind of be a situation where Ben leaves first. Mm-hmm. If Jameis is willing to, take that $8 million a year backup quarterback role, I for sure see it, and I think it's a great. It's an upgrade from Mason Rudolph for sure. A lot of people are down on. A lot of people are down on Jameis, but he is a stat patter, but he can also throw the ball. He can huck it. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's to the other team, but it's he can still throw it. So I would upgrade my backup for sure if he's willing to go.
Mm-hmm. And he could potentially start for you in the future if
exactly
things work out well. He's still. I still think he's 27 years old or something like that. So.
Yeah, I agree. Jameis I could see there as a backup or eventually starting for them depending on how Big Ben works out. Cam, I don't really see it too much.